Yo, what's up, Bonehawk? Shujinkydink here. Welcome to a video all about Mortal Kombat XL. But also Mortal Kombat 11? What? The crossover. Boom, it's happening right now. I'm going to talk about it. I see in my comments all the time. This game sucks. MKX sucks. MK11 sucks. MKX is better. MK11 is better. And I've talked about, kind of the differences a little bit on my streams and on my videos and stuff, but I thought I would break it down in detail for y'all here today and give my opinion at the end of, what's better where kind of a thing. So let's start with what I like about both games. Transition.
Accept your death.
So probably my favorite part about Mortal Kombat X is the creativity and the combo paths that you can do in this game. Like, it's absolutely incredible. Like, the amount of things, like, Quan Chi alone has like 1, 2, 3, 4 different launchers into combos, all, into whatever kind of pass. You can do like side switch combos, you can do same side combos. I can end the combo early and go for like a setup kind of thing, like something like this. And for characters that aren't Quan Chi, other different characters too, like Tremor, for example, there's just so many different combos and different setups and different ways that you can, kind of get things going. And having armor with the meter is actually really nice. Although I wouldn't really know because I play Quan, but with the other characters that I do play, it adds a little bit of an element to the wake-up game as well, which kind of leads me on to my second point, is I really like the meter system in MKX. I like how you actually have to build your meter back through like blocked moves or doing special moves or whatever. Like there's this meter management that goes along with it, especially with characters like Sorcerer, who can like actively steal your meter too. Stuff like that. Anything to do with meter manipulation, just it really does it for me. So and again, that just adds another thing that you just got to be careful of and just fundamentally be worried about where your meter is. There's always a threat of the X-ray, but not really. Like, I don't know too many people who use it. If it'll win me a game and I'm worried about like a breaker or something, then yeah, I'll throw it out at the end, that kind of a thing. So one classic thing that I really do like about MKX is the actual breaker, the combo breaker itself. Like, it's such, I don't know, it was one of the things that I believe came out of was it MK4 that started it? The 3D era, I believe, that like really was super duper strong. Like, it's just such a good idea and like kind of a staple to the series. And I like how they've even tied it in here more with like the kind of 2 bars. I believe it was the same in 9. I can't really remember. It's been a while since I played that game, but yeah. Almost died. Yeah, so they've integrated with a meter and you have your enhance, your breaker, and then your X-ray, which at a high level no one really uses X-ray, so I don't really miss it that much anyways. So yeah, I think those would be the things that I like the most about MKX. So let's switch over and talk about the things that I like about Mortal Kombat 11. Okay, so here we are in Mortal Kombat 11. The number one thing that I really like about this game is the fundamentals to it. I really like the pacing, the spacing, kind of the in and out, the real footsie-based kind of play. I'm trying to make sure that I'm in range. I'm just walking around. The movement's kind of nice. Where this does falter a bit is like characters with bad movement tend to be bad characters, but it's a pretty balanced game overall. So, and that's probably number 2. So first is definitely like spacing fundamentals. Most of the time when I lose, I understand what I did wrong. That was definitely a bad play by me. So, and that's one thing I really do like about this game. Another thing that I like about this game is, although there really isn't that much in the way of armor, the defender has the advantage when they're knocked down. So you have to be careful about doing knockdowns in this game because, if they use a meter wisely, you can roll, you can wake up attack, you can wake up launcher, you can just wake up buttons, you can wake up throw, that kind of thing. So, you got to think twice, when you're really trying to bait. And then, again, you're playing that spacing game. Am I knocking you down? Okay, am I reading that you're going to do a wake up attack? Now I'm going to back off and punish it, whiff punish it. Or I'm going to read you're going to wake up buttons, I'm going to attack you with a mid, and go into something like that. So that kind of cat and mouse game with the defender having an advantage, I think is really nice, especially since characters with good mids in this game are the top tier characters. I'm hesitant to say that I like this because I do, but I do have like a couple criticisms of it. Crushing blows. I really, really like the idea of them because they do reward good gameplay, like, you know, ducking a throw and down twoing, you know, or, you know, hitting a reversal, or sometimes they're stupid though, like hitting this one move that you would have no reason to do 3 times in a row. Those kind of ones are dumb, and I think they need to be balanced. But I do really like the ones that kind of reward you for good gameplay, good spacing, good footsies, good punishing, good reads, those kind of things. I really like those ones. And the generic ones, you know, like everyone has the same down two. Well, everyone's down twos are different, but everyone has the same crushing blow off the down two. So I think it could be toned down a bit, especially maybe don't give people launchers off of them. You know, maybe everybody only gets a launcher off the down two. I don't know how you would balance it. I just really like the idea of rewarding good fundamental gameplay, and that's why I like the idea of them. And lastly, very small thing, I like how the ranked mode in this game is 2 out of 3. Ideally it would be 3 out of 5. Not really sure why they changed that, but whatever. It's a small thing. Don't really care for the first 2 ones in MKX. It's okay if you just want to play and test some stuff out, but overall I think it's a poor way to do it, so... That's pretty much all the things I like about MK11, so let's switch it back to MKX, and I'm going to go over the things that I do not like about MKX. Transition. Okay, these are my 2 main gripes with this game, and you may, by just seeing the characters that I picked, kinda get where I'm coming from before I even said anything. So, the first gripe, and these are interchangeable, one's not better than the other, one's not worse than the other, I dislike these 2 things equally. Unreactable, safe, or plus on block 50-50s. I despise losing because I guessed wrong. I feel like that took all of the skill out of my game, you know? Like, you know, it's not like I outspaced you or out-whatevered you, you know? Literally, I ran up into your face and did a low, and you didn't guess that I was going to do a low. Or I ran into your face and did an overhead, and you didn't know that I was going to do an overhead. And then, oh, because I'm Quan Chi, oh, I can make this safe or plus on block. Yes, I'm talking shit about my own character, but I'm way more passionate about this than the stuff I like about either of these games. Let's get that out of the way here. In Smoke's case, I don't know how to do this because, where is it here? I go invisible, and then I do, you can't even see me. I don't know what, yeah, there it is, overhead, low. I'm invisible, and I'm hitting you with 50-50s. Into full combos, into restand, into guess again, bro. That's your entire health bar in one guess. That I do not find enjoyable. That I get super salty about. I don't know how, I'm really interested to hear how y'all feel about it. When you just get 50-50 and your whole health bar is just gone, and you're like, all I did was guess once. I didn't even get a chance to play. Like, I really don't like that about this game. And kind of leading into that a little bit is the lack of spacing. Like, your footsies, like, your spacing is, like, way out here. You know, because of the run button, which I strongly dislike. I think, boom, run in, into whatever, you know? Run in, overhead. Run in, low. Great job. You guessed wrong. And I didn't even have to space you out or anything, you know? I'm out here dodging all your shit, and bam, run in, boom, into whatever. It doesn't feel like fundamental gameplay to me, and I don't like it. So, that's my main gripes with this game are just those 2 basic things. Outside of that, really enjoyable game. Really like it. To be fair, though, there's not really much else I can critique this game on. Like, I enjoy it otherwise, like all the things that I like, and the character designs, the story's cool, all that. So I'm mostly focused on the gameplay here, because that's what people kind of talk about the most. So I kind of wanted to just get that out there. But yeah, those are just the main 2 things. The problem is they're like the core. They're like the meta of the game, and it's not what I'm looking for in a fighting game. I want a game that challenges me and wants me to become a better player, you know? And although there is upsides and downsides to both of these games, and I'm going to talk about that at the end here, and how they kind of intertwine, but this game really teaches you to be creative, to learn different combo paths, to keep people guessing, to find different setups, and to really explore these characters in depth. Really, and it was one of the games that really upped the ante on the practice mode, and I think it's for that reason that there's just so many different ways to play this game that you need a really robust practice mode, and it is one of the better practice modes up until the release of this game's point. So I think that was by design. So those are really the main things I dislike about this game. Again, just a few, but they are rather glaring and a big part of the game. So now that we got that out of the way, let's go back over to 11, and we'll talk about the things I don't like over there. Alright, so probably my main... Well, okay, you know what? Let's get this out of the way first. I don't even want to talk about this feature because I dislike it so much. We all know what it is. If you've watched any of my videos or any of my live streams, say it with me now, the breakaway. Fuck the breakaway. Not only is it like super expensive to do, it comes out accidental all the time. You can't remap it. It's just stupid. I might have some love for it if you could remap it to a different button that wasn't your goddamn block button, because everyone's trying to block us. Get hit late, you try to block. Oh, whoops. Oh, you want it to break away? Oh, there goes all your meter. Bye. Anyways, I've ranted about that enough. Number one thing I hate about this game, breakaway. Moving on. Second thing that I don't like is the poke throw meta. Generally in this game, characters with good mids are the ones that are higher, and the ones with crappy mids are the ones that are lower tier or struggle a little bit. Johnny is different in that, like, he has some decent mids, but they just don't really lead anywhere. He's got the threat of them, but like his main stuff comes off as highs, which is why, you know, a lot of Johnny players will complain. But yeah, I just dislike this because it promotes gameplay like double pokes. Traditionally, you don't want to double poke, because if you hit somebody with your poke and then you double poke again and they block the second one, you're losing the hit advantage off the first one. But in this game, you poke them and then they expect you to go for mid, so they're ducking and not blocking. So then you poke them again to try and get your turn back and hit them out of that. You know, or hit them with a mid attack, but you know, not every character has that fantastic ability. So you poke, then they duck, and then they down two, something like that. So that's just something I'm not a fan of. It completely disregards the strategy that worked in every other NRS game, as far as I'm concerned. So I feel like it's a step backwards, and I don't like it. Although it is a pretty heavy part of the game, it still allows the game to have the same pace and the spacing, so it's not as game-changing as some of the things in MKX, for example. So that's probably my main gripe with the game, other than the first thing I said there. So the other thing is the regenerating meter. I do not like this at all. I feel out of control when it comes to my meter, and I feel like meter management is almost non-existent or tied to a timer, which is why I like Spawn, where I can kind of control. I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to take this time to build my meter back up, and then I'm going to go in for another hit. That makes me feel like I'm in control again. You know, like in MKX, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this string into this special move, and that will give me the amount of meter that I need to finish whatever I'm doing. So don't like this system at all, especially when it comes to accidental breakaways. Oh, can you tell that makes me salty? That makes me salty. I'm upset. I'm upset just thinking about that right now. The main part that I see people complain about when it comes to MK11 is the lack of combo paths and the lack of combos in general. Most combos are linked to crushing blows, which I don't know how I feel. Like I said, I wish that crushing blows did not have really launching capabilities for everybody. I feel like just having generic combo launchers would be better. But to be honest, it doesn't really bother me. I can live with like the lack of combos. If it goes more for looking at something like that, into some hit advantage, into a mid. But you know, that's affected again, like I was saying, lack of highs. So I don't know. The actual lack of combos doesn't bother me so much, and the fact that they have like certain variations just for that, like if you want to extend your combos, then sure, you can use this variation or this move. But they're certainly not what they were in MKX. That's a game changer for a lot of people, and I totally get that, because like a lot of the time doing combos is like the best part of a game. Like, you ever like work on a freaking 25 hit combo for an entire afternoon, then finally land it? Like, yeah. You know, you clip that and you send it to your grandma, and your grandma's like, what the fuck is this? I don't even know what I'm watching. And you're like, Grandma, just give me $20 for Christmas and call it even, okay? So yeah, it doesn't really bother me that much, but again, it's a game changer for some people. So there's kind of my breakdown of the main things that I dislike about MKX, MK11. So I'm going to give my final consensus here. on which one I think is objectively better in my view, and where it might kind of differ in your view. So MKX is a better game if you are looking for a fast pace, execution heavy, very rewarding experience as far as damage and combos and all that kind of things go. It's, like I said, super fast. You know, you're in and out, bam, 50% damage, blah, 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 scorpions all over the screen, and bam, okay, now you're back to figuring out, but open them up again, oh, there's another 50%, oh my god, ah. It's all over the place, it's super fun, it's super creative. You have a lot of control over your meter, which is something that I personally really, really like. And a kind of an added thing, so these are skills that this game is going to teach you, and this is why I preach that you should be playing multiple fighting games if you want to get really good at fighting games, because there are skills in this game that you will not learn. You will not excel in the neutral in this game. Your patience will likely falter a little bit in this game because it rewards that type of gameplay. And if you can take some fundamentals from another game and add it on top of the fundamentals on this game, and this is why we see experienced players tend to do better earlier on in tournaments until kind of newer players kind of grasp the meta, and then, you know, towards usually the second year of a game, you'll see kind of like the more top level guys kind of come forward. But because you have fundamentals on fundamentals and fundamentals, so you can take fundamentals from one game, add them to another game, and then you're basically like, that's a fundamental sandwich. Like, you're a god. Like, right off the bat, you didn't even do anything. So where you might lack education as far as fighting game experience here is going to be in the neutral, learning the neutral because you have a run button. A lot of characters have teleports that turn into launchers. Some characters have armored launchers, which is totally another story. But you're going to gain experience in execution, practicing combos, practicing setups, and more importantly, keeping it your turn. And I think that's the biggest fundamental that you're going to get from Mortal Kombat X, is you're going to be able to get the experience to keep it your turn, and that sometimes your opponent never has a chance to ever actually do anything in this game. If you play it right and at the top level, you're always, as soon as you touch your opponent, most characters in this game, you don't have a move after that. Grandmaster Sub-Zero gets you in the corner, clone. You gotta guess. Guess again. Oh, you guessed right. Congratulations. You're still standing in front of a goddamn clone. And he gets to do it again. So, things like that, you know, and that's where your fundamentals will really excel, is at understanding pressure, understanding combos, your execution, keeping it your turn, and understanding a fast-paced fight. Because in both games, you're going to have different paces, some more so than others, but, you know, and especially if you go into other fighting games, you're going to experience different pacing and different matchups. So understanding this game's pace and understanding how to excel in this pace is really what you're going to learn from this. So this is really the better game if you like that fast pace, big combos, flashy stuff, fun to watch, that kind of thing. MKX is the game for you. Alright, so MK11. MK11 is the better game if you enjoy spacing, punishing, whiff punishing, really feeling out an opponent and kind of understanding their movement and making reads on the gameplay. It's very much a reads fundamental style play. You do not have that same execution kind of style that you do in MKX. The combos in this game are fairly simple and fairly easy to figure out. 45%, like in my sleep, basically. So, I mean, that's not really a thing in this game. It's more going to be like making reads, and the guessing is not anywhere near what it is in MKX. There is some guessing, though, with this poke-throw meta. Again, throws are a big part of this game because you can get crushing blows into big damage off of them. So the guessing is more about whether you're going to do another poke into throw, which, again, isn't super fundamentally sound in most fighting games, but it's the meta in this game, so it is what it is. So, and this is kind of where the skills that you're going to get from MK11 are going to be more making reads on your opponent, understanding what they're going to do next, understanding what your options are, and understanding where your moves are going to hit. And if anything else, I think that's the biggest thing that you'll get from this game, is understanding where your moves are going to hit. Understanding that if just a little bit out of range there, but I just got to figure out how to be, boom, right there, right at the edge of mine. And that's super important for any fighting game, really. You know, the thing that you won't learn with that in MKX is the run button. You can just run in and then you're within range, you know? Here I'm within a range where I can hit my move, or I could kind of bait them out and back, And that's something that I really like, and that's why, you know, this game kind of appeals to me, is I really like that kind of cat and mouse. Like, I could do the move here, but will I? Oh, psych, no, I'm back here. Oh, projectile, you know. So that's definitely a skill. So if you can kind of combine that with, you know, like in MKX with the run button. Let's say we're playing MKX, but you also have some experience in this game. Maybe you don't run all the way in. Maybe you run like from there to here. And then you kind of bait them out that way. That would be an idea of you like sandwiching fundamentals, right? So where this game is better is if you like a slower pace, you like some time to read your opponent, and you really want to try and make... The reads, I think, and spacing are the two big things that you're going to learn from this game. Spacing, making sure you understand exactly where you are, and that you're going to get hurt. For Baraka, for example, he's got to find a way in. He's got to find how to get right up here in your face. That's his spacing. That's really where he wants to be. So that's kind of a cat and mouse game for him, you know, because far away, yeah, there's not really much he can do. So he's got to figure out how to get all the way up in your face, and then making the proper reads, whether you're going to poke, using your mids, or in some characters' cases a low, because not everyone has great mids in this game, and that's what makes the top tier. So yeah, MK11 is the better game if you like reads, footsies, and spacing. So, and that brings it to my personal opinion. Which game do I think is better? And, you know, when I look at all the fundamentals that MKX holds, and all the fundamentals that MK11 holds, like from what I've learned from both of them, and I smash them together, to be quite honest with you, the answer is actually Injustice 2, because it's a perfect mix of both of them, kind of has the best of both worlds with a slight zoning bias, but we're not ready to talk about that now, are we? Can you imagine if that's how I ended this video? I would not blame you for mashing that unsubscribe button. No, if we're being honest, I think MK11 is a better game. Although I will totally agree with MKX heads that it is not as exciting to watch. But I enjoy a little bit more spacing, and as a zoner, it's just what I enjoy and what I find fun. At the end of the day, isn't that what it's all about? One game better than the other, it's fun. You find it fun. You know, that's the part of fundamental, is fun, right? Right? I'm sounding like such a fence sitter here, but I mean, it's just, I find it more enjoyable, and I think the main sell for this game for me, and why I personally would say if I had to choose one, it's the better game, is because I know why I lost the majority of the time. I can't just hack it up to, guessed wrong. Okay, how could I have done better in that game? Oh, well, guessed right. Why didn't I think of that, you know? But in this game, there's very clear things I can go back and say, okay, this is what I did. I did this here. I dropped this combo. I did this. I did that. There's so many opportunities where you're doing things that it's very clear to go back and see kind of where you messed up. Again, there is some guessing. That's fighting games. It does happen. But I like to understand so I can improve as a player. And I feel this game allows that a little bit more than MKX does. So that's it. That's my opinion. I'm putting it out into the world. Thanks for watching. I did not think this video was going to be this long. I am so sorry. Or maybe you're welcome. Some people like longer videos. I don't know. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and don't forget to comment down below and let me know what you thought, because yeah, I know there's going to be some opinions on this one. So hashtag Bonehawks and all that stuff, and we'll see all you Bonehawks next video.
Accept your death.